What's up, sports fans? It's Brett and Steven on this beautiful Friday / Saturday morning. We got some news earlier we wanted to wait and talk about the Carmelo Anthony buyout from the Oklahoma City Thunder. For all of you people who don't really understand that, pretty much the Oklahoma City Thunder are paying him his money that is due, and then he can walk as a free agent and sign with whatever team he likes. A lot of people who aren't in the NBA scene or in the basketball scene like myself, they're probably thinking this is a great idea, this is huge, Carmelo Anthony can go everywhere, blah, 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 blah. But what people don't seem to understand is that Carmelo Anthony is now a middle-aged man. He's a shell of himself, of what he used to be. So who's going to take Carmelo Anthony? And that's what we're here to talk about. What are his best landing spots? Who should take him? What are his options? I don't know. What do you think, Steven?
So, I love the NBA, but I just started following recently. I've always been more of a football guy, MMA, stuff like that. Brett's an expert on the NBA. That was pretty much his passion, right?
Yeah.
So, I think I'm going to do a little more of the interviewing part of this. I'm going to ask him more of the questions on where he thinks Carmelo Anthony will end up, or where you would like to see Carmelo Anthony end up, because I think you're have a little more expertise in this subject than I do.
I love the NBA, and I've been watching the NBA my whole life. NBA is my passion, or basketball is my passion, not necessarily NBA. But Carmelo Anthony he's a huge name, in the NBA world. Carmelo Anthony is a huge name, but he's at the downhill slide. He's on the back nine.
Myself, I've always heard of Carmelo Anthony, but watching him on OKC is kind of like, it wasn't anything special. You think that's just being on a team with Russell Westbrook. Everyone says Russell Westbrook's like the Black Plague,
Well, that does have something to do with it. When you're playing with two other superstars, and Russell Westbrook and Paul George, obviously when you're splitting the ball three ways, it's gonna change something. The thing that I don't like about Carmelo Anthony is Oklahoma City asked him if he would be willing to come off the bench and be a sixth man, and he said absolutely not.
He's not willing to be a role player.
He's not willing to be a role player.
He wants to lead a team. He thinks he's young still.
Absolutely. Well, and he thinks he deserves to be the number one guy. He thinks he deserves max money. He has this ego problem that most people are going to look at and say no, And where's that going to give? Either Carmelo Anthony's going to have to give and accept something that he's not willing to accept, or some team who's desperate for a big name like Carmelo Anthony is going to pay him big money.
So let's play out some scenarios for Carmelo Anthony. Best case scenario, who would you like to see him end up on? What team do you think he would be a good fit for?
It's not who I want him to go to, but I'm trying to think of it from a logical point. With the LA Lakers going through their rebuild year this year, Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James are really good buddies. They've been seen together. Everyone knows they hang out. They go on vacations together. They do all this stuff together. So one would think that since LeBron went to LA and they're trying to build this franchise back up to where it used to be, that they could sign Carmelo Anthony to a deal to go there. And Carmelo Anthony might be a good piece. He can come off the bench. He can score. He can help out. He's a horrible defensive player. You're not going to get any defense out of him. But if you need LeBron James to get a rest and to go to the bench and get some minutes out, you could put that offensive load on Carmelo Anthony because he's perfectly capable of that. But is Carmelo Anthony willing to take the money that the LA Lakers want to give him? Because if that's what they want him to do, they're not going to pay him a lot of money. But Carmelo Anthony in his head thinks that he's worth all this money. So there's a lot of things that can hinder where Carmelo Anthony goes. Is Carmelo Anthony at this stage of his career, is he only looking for money? If so, he could end up anywhere. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have a ring. Is Carmelo Anthony only want to win a championship?
I actually saw a post like that maybe to the Warriors. Would that be a complete blow to the NBA? The Warriors just signed Boogie Cousins and then they signed Carmelo Anthony, or do you think that would be a lousy
I mean, that would be hilarious.
It would be kind of funny,
if
right?
Oklahoma City said screw you to the entire NBA and signed Carmelo Anthony. But me personally, knowing what
Golden
I know,
State,
Golden State. Me knowing what I know about Carmelo Anthony, I don't think he's willing to take a role to where he's not really ever going to be the guy. He's never going to be the go-to. He's never going to be the focal point. That's what he wants.
You don't see him signing a 1-year deal, grab a ring real quick.
If what his main priority is to grab a ring, maybe he might do that.
I mean, now's the time, right?
Absolutely.
He's not getting any younger.
No, I believe he's 33, 34 in that range. You know, his numbers last year declined. Like I said, he played with 2 other studs. But, you know, Carmelo Anthony might very well go to a team who doesn't have anybody but has a lot of money to pay him a lot of money, and he can be the dude there.
Why do you think OKC cut their ties with them?
I think it just didn't work. You know, I think you have Russell Westbrook, who's a ball-dominant guy. You have Paul George, who's a great two-way player, but also can be a ball-dominant guy. You can't have 3 ball-dominant guys.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony doesn't do anything on the defensive end. He doesn't give you any assists. He doesn't do any of the intangibles. He's a 100% thoroughbred, pure scorer. So, but he wasn't even doing that last year. You know, so Oklahoma City had to decide, well, we can cut our losses, you know, and they saved a lot of money by cutting him. So I think it was best for both worlds. I don't think Carmelo Anthony was 100% happy there, but he was making a ton of money, so he re-signed. So it was best from both worlds, but we don't know where he's going to end up. So who knows?
We'll find out, yeah.
Somebody will pick him up. I have faith with his talent and his name. Somebody will pick him up. So let us know what you think. Where's he going to go? Who's he going to play for? Is he worth the money? Should Oklahoma City have let him go? Should they have not let him go? Let us know what you think.
And stay tuned, because once he does get picked up by someone, we're going to cover that. We're gonna let you know our thoughts on it. Brett will let you know if he's a good fit, what he thinks, and yeah, leave your comments below. Please subscribe and
Melo to the Lakers. I'm calling it now.
all right, peace, guys.